Hello and welcome. This video is going to be what sold for me on the various platforms that I sell on for the week of June 15th to June 21st. And let me say that this is the first time I have actually felt the summer slowdown. You know, before as a part-timer, I didn't quite understand the term summer slowdown because for me, I was still making consistent sales. And I also didn't rely on the money to pay my bills. But now that I do, I get it. So let me share with you the few sales I did make. I'm gonna come over here first and I'll share with you the one Facebook marketplace sale that I made, and it is this Vineyard Vines dad hat. I paid $3 for this and it sold for $10 on Facebook marketplace. I took an offer because I just cross-listed everything, so that means it had over 30 days to sell and it didn't, so totally gonna take that offer when it comes up, especially sales are so slow. Let's get over here and we're gonna do Poshmark now. I made no sales on Etsy, so we're just going straight to Poshmark. I made this Bob Mackie sale. I have realized that as cool as some of Bob Mackie wearable art pieces are, and as iconic as he maybe was in the late 70s and early 80s, if you did not know, Bob Mackie designed a lot of pieces for Cher, which gave rise to his brand in that time period. Kind of fallen out of favor now. I thought this was really cool. Only sold for $10. You see I modeled it. I'm just happy that it sold. I did double my money here, so happy about that. Even with the, Poshmark taking $2.95 of that. I also was really surprised with this sale. I feel like this was a guest purchase, and this was something that I just put together because I bought them together. It is a mid-century modern little stainless steel Danish little trinket tray, serving dish, and then a vintage corkscrew. So I put them together and someone bought them together for $15, which was my full asking price. And I think I paid $2 for both of them. So happy about that. And then Puffles, I have to thank very much Donna for purchasing this bundle on Poshmark. So she purchased this vintage 1930s pair of salt and pepper shakers and one of my Heroin Bob mugs. So thank you very much. I only have like one piece of merch and I've had it for forever. I have like a whole case still of these mugs. So I always appreciate it whenever anybody buys one. Thank you very much. So she bought this on Poshmark, and if you don't know, on Poshmark you pay the same rate for shipping and you ship up to 5 pounds of stuff. So then now we're gonna go over to eBay, and she decided to also on the same day, excuse me Miss Moxie, to buy this Anthropologie dress for me that I picked up from the bins. The Saturday Sunday dress, which is a former Anthropologie brand, which doesn't have the best sell-through anymore. Again, if you wanna know the good Anthropologie brands that have either a high ASP or have a really fast sell-through rate, my Anthology, which is free, pay what you want, brand guide is in the description. But she paid $23.90 and then also paid for shipping. And I was like, I can just shove this in the Poshmark box and it's gonna still be less than 5 pounds. So I refunded her the shipping and then just put the dress in the box with her other stuff. So I thought that was really nice that I could do that. Donna, I do hope you love the dress, and I hope you like everything else as well. And it was nice to be able to save her some shipping because she already paid for it on Poshmark, and I thought that was really nice. I also sold this vintage Y2K era Army Brotherhood t-shirt. I knew that this would sell. I paid like $2.50 for this because if you buy 2 t-shirts, you basically get buy one, get one at Goodwill here. So it sold for my full asking price of $9.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. I also sold these cool pants for $23. I picked these up at the DAV for $5, and I know some people are like, well, you could get more for them. Yep, totally could, but sales have been down and I I'm just accepting offers that are reasonable. I've had a lot of low ballers the last couple of weeks, like offering less than half of the asking price, and I know that that's something that has been a frequent complaint to some people on the different groups that I'm in. But if you look at it, this person paid like over $30 for this pair of pants if you include the shipping in there. So I feel like that's a decent price. This is the Blueberry Connection, which is a cookbook that I picked up at an estate sale. I paid less than $1 for this. So it sold for $5.87 and $4 for shipping. I was actually very surprised because this sold like within 48 hours of me listing it. So that was really nice. And another surprise, this sold also within 48 hours of me listing it, which was weird because this was, one, covered in stains because this was frequently used during the time period that this was printed. There were multiple of these listed. And for some odd reason, mine was the one that sold. Sold for my full asking price of $3.87, and the buyer paid $3.50 for shipping. And yeah, I paid like $1/4 for this, so I thought that was great. This is a pair of Patagonia shorts. They were the Strider shorts, so they were a pair of running shorts from Patagonia. I got so many lowball offers on these shorts. This was the first reasonable offer I received, so I let them go. For $19.99, and the buyer paid for shipping. This next item is something else I picked up for an estate sale, and I paid less than $1 for this shirt. This was from an estate sale I don't think I filmed. But this was from an estate sale where the lady of a house was a little Asian lady who liked to golf, and I picked this up. So I say that because seeing some of the pictures and some of the stuff in there just reminded me of my grandmother, so that's why I made the smile. I'm sad that that person passed, but it was nice to remind me of my grandma. So it sold for $7. Again, perfectly happy to take an offer, a reasonable offer for something that I paid very little for. This is REI Co-op. This is a men's fishing hiking shirt. It had the front billowy pockets with some zipper stuff, so I put in all the words I could put in, and it sold for my full asking price of $19.87. And of course the buyer paid for shipping. So, you know, if you have hiking and fishing stuff and you can put that in the title, do it. It's that time of year, guys. This next piece is a Lewin Gray. And again, this is one of those things that I bought for myself because I've mentioned multiple times on this channel that I buy anything Lewin Gray that will fit me. I had bought these for myself, not realizing that the inseam is 5 inches too short for me. I do not wear cropped pants. So I was very sad. I need to be in the habit of taking the tape measure with me when I go sourcing, just for the things I want to source for myself, because I do have, I need a 32-inch inseam. This was disappointing. So I paid $5 for these for myself at the Dav, and then ended up not being able to wear them. So I sold them pretty quickly after listing them for $10, so I doubled my money within like 72 hours of listing. Which, fast flip, great. Another thing that I had initially bought for myself, and this was the opposite problem, where I put it on, it's too big. This is a medium. I was like, okay, medium, no big deal. It's too big. It was just way too big. You know, I'm all about the big, like boxy fit. Men's vintage sweaters. That's got a giant chunk of moxie. Like, look at this. Look at this. Is yours. Boop. That's your hair. I'm all about a big boxy fit, but this was like too much. And this thing sold within, again, 48 hours of me listing it. And that was a big surprise, and for my full asking price. So maybe Liz Claiborne is something I need to look at more as far as sourcing, especially if I'm going to source it at the bins. This is something I paid like $4 or $5 for, and if it's flipping within hours for full price, maybe I need to think about that. This is something I picked up also at the bins. So at the bins, books are 25 cents for paperbacks and 50 cents for hardcovers. Pulled this out of a bin for 50 cents, and it sold within like 40 hours of me listing it for $9.87. So heck yeah. This was an antique book from 1920. Conrad is, you know, a classic, respected writer. And yeah, just happy to save a book from getting thrown away, because that's what would have happened if it didn't make it through the cycle. If nobody bought it, it would have been tossed and thrown away. That hurts my bibliophile heart. And this next item, and the very last item I have to share with you, is this J. Crew belt. This is something that I have had listed for like 2 years now, and it finally sold for my full asking price of $9.87. I paid $2 for this at a thrift store. Will I pick this up again? No. No. I mean, maybe. If it's like, if I get it for $1 or less, sure, it can just sit there. I'm honestly surprised this took so long to sell. But yeah, that's not a lot. It's like it's like 17 sales. 3 of them were for Puffles. So Puffles, again, thank you for your support. So if I took Puffles' sales out, that's 14 sales, which is basically half of what I have been selling per week. Less than half of what I've been selling per week in these videos. So it hurts. It hurts. And it might be because, you know, I've discovered the bins, and so I'm listing stuff that doesn't have the high sell-through rate. But because the cost of goods is so low, I don't know. I'm also listing a lot of vintage right now because I've sourced a lot of vintage, and most of the vintage that I currently have that I need to list is all stuff that is long sleeve or wool. I have a lot of vintage dresses I should be listing, but that's not what my focus has been on. It's been on listing stuff that has not sold on Whatnot. I also have sold 17 items on a Whatnot auction, but the amount I'm getting for them on the Whatnot auction is a tenth of what I would get if I were to list them on eBay or Etsy. So I'm happy that I'm getting the stuff out. After this last week's auction, I have broken even on that 400 piece plus estate sale. So I had now made enough profit from that giant estate sale to say anything else I sell from there is all profit, which, considering a lot of it is Pendleton suits. That'll be nice in the winter, but I need to get there first. So I'm just going to focus on listing, focus on trying to like get as many listings up as I physically can, because of my disability. That's also been a problem. It's been very ugly the last week as well, which might have something to do with my sales. I've been struggling this week as far as my health goes. So, but it's okay. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the summer slowdown hasn't hit you yet, and if it has, maybe we can commiserate together. And I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you guys in a couple days for another video, which will be a Ben's haul. So until then, bye!